Okay, so I kind of tried this just as a meme build. Like, I wasn't even serious about this being a good setup, but holy crap, man. Every time I play Ice Gauntlet, I swear, this is the most overpowered weapon in the game. It is so freaking good at keeping you alive, and you can pair it with pretty much every weapon. There is no bad pairing for Ice Gauntlet, so yeah, I gotta say, you know, this one turned out way better than I thought it would, so I hope you guys enjoyed the build. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Of course, I am doing the New World Top 5 fights. I'm very close to doing another episode, so if you have an awesome clip that you want to see in the New World Top 5, you can email a link to it to Kristofer at pvpnewworld.com. And now, without further ado, let's get into that PvP commentary. This first fight here was just wild. These guys had chased me a little bit. I finally got into some cover, got some health back, and I just start absolutely tearing through them with the Greatsword once I get the turnaround. And oh my god, man, look at the damage on this Greatsword. It's actually insane. The last guy holds block. He's had enough. I just shoot the light attack. The other guy here just quits fighting. Yeah. That's about the story of Ice Gauntlet. That's all I can say. Ice Gauntlet just makes people want to quit playing. And here we go. The next clip, another just opening. I think this is actually the same Outpost Rush map. And we just shred through the first guy there with some heavy attacks. He does not respond well to it at all. And then we jump down here. 3 enemy players on top of me. And I blow all my Ice Gauntlet cooldowns to make sure I can get out of there. Split the group up. And then we get big damage on one of the players there with the Greatsword. And then right away, just keep trying to whip those attacks at him. Unfortunately, I didn't have the mana for the wave on that attack. So he ends up surviving. We hit him with the wave at a distance. But again, he has just a little bit of health left. But we got to try to keep the pressure up here as best as possible. The more pressure that I can apply in this situation, the better my chances of survival. Honestly, that's one of the biggest things about fighting when you're outnumbered, is maintaining aggression. There we see again, I'm put in a bad spot. I pop all my healing bullshit and I just stay aggressive. We managed to pick up the kill on that guy, almost get the kill on the hatchet player there, but he's saved by his undeath on the hatchet. And we just stay on the Greatsword, keep rotating around this pillar. Oh my god, so much damage there. And I just keep the pressure up with the Greatsword here. We do have the Ice Gauntlet skills off of cooldown. Ideally, I probably should drop an Ice Gauntlet snare here just to keep this guy in place, but that's okay. We've got the Entomb for when I need it. Managed to survive that incoming attack there, and it looks like there is a ranged player just shooting at me from behind here too with something. And the thing is, the hatchet player, oh my god, he's got no health left. We just go through him with the two-hand sword, and down he goes. And then it's just me and one opponent left. And oh man, he starts chasing me around the pillar. We throw down the Ice Gauntlet bullshit. He gets stuck in it. He hits us with his stuff. I'm just gonna stand there, hold block, wait for him to use a few of his moves. And then we get into our Defiant stance. Managed to get a good trade there with the Greatsword, and then just jump back on top of these guys here. Try to do some pressure or some damage to him. A friendly jumps down and another enemy jumps down too. He goes after the friendly player, but it looks like the friendly player is gonna escape. I throw down all the Ice Gauntlet bullshit. Oh my god, we save his life. He cannot chase that friendly. And then I just get back on top of him and just keep the pressure up with my Greatsword. Start whipping those waves at a distance. Oh no, I'm out of mana. This build, I swear, you chug mana like crazy on this build. And there we go. We managed to get that last kill. Down he goes. Moving on to the final clip. I only have 3 kind of quick clips for you guys of this build today, but that's okay. I wanted to share it because it was so fun to play just for the one day that I played it. And we do manage to pick the kill up on that guy there, and his Phoenix necklace just pops. So I'm just going to run around, wait for the dot to slowly finish him off, and he ends up going down. And then we head towards the enemy spawn here and see if I can pull a few more enemy players. It looks like one of the players I had fought already ended up coming back out, and I believe the other guy is going to come back out too. And we're going to get a third here. They're just shooting their stuff at me. I'm just whipping waves at them. I want them to come this direction. I don't want to fight them right in front of the spawn. That's a really bad spot to fight. As you can see, it's already 5 players piled up here. Throw down the Ice Gauntlet bullshit there. We managed to get a good trap on that player, but I take a ton of damage trying to go for that combo there. And that honestly was a really dangerous combo to try. I think that just chalk it up to me being kind of an aggressive player in those kinds of situations. And I usually like to take the risk if I can. I end up surviving though with my ultimate to get out of there. And then a few enemy players chase. And I just quickly put some damage into the wolf to bring him down. Good read on the incoming spear player. They almost always open up with the kick or the sweep, usually the sweep, so I just anticipate that. We get a good roll after that attack, and then bam, huge damage on this guy with the heavy attack. We go for the poke, and then one more light attack to finish him off. We take that guy down, and then there's 2 enemy players here, and my Greatsword just whipping waves, but hitting nothing with them, unfortunately. And then I go for the spin into here and just keep whipping those heavies. This guy held block in front of the heavy. You never want to do that. That is an absolute death sentence. Seriously, even if you have like sword and shield, you cannot try to block Greatsword heavies. They do way too much stamina damage. And then there's the pressure to finish him off. We just stay on top of him. And then the last enemy player here, he's whipping his Greatsword at us as well. And, yeah, I just throw my Ice Gauntlet stuff down to try to hold him still a little bit. He is in Defiant stance, though, and he is running that heavy attack Defiant stance build where he does not get pulled out of Defiant stance by the heavies. Here he goes for his spin, though, so now that he's in Onslaught, we have the opportunity to get some really good damage into him. I try to trap him with the Ice Gauntlet. Unfortunately, he gets me with the Spear Stun that time, and there is the trap from the Ice Gauntlet. And then he goes back into the Defiant stance. I go through him with my Greatsword there just to try to bait out his gap closer if I can. I want him in Onslaught stance so I can actually do some damage to him here. He switches to the Spear, and that's the opportunity. We got the Grit up when I go for the cross cut, and you always want to have like moves like that where you have that Grit. Makes a huge difference trading with opponents that are trying to stun or knock you down. And there we go, guys. That is the gameplay. Here's a quick look at the build. The stats are a little weird. Ideally, I would have 200 dex and 0 in intel, but my gear limitations mean I have to have 100 intel. It's not the worst for the build, but it's also not the best. I do think it would be better with 200 dex. And then when we take a look at the Ice Gauntlet here, you can see I have a very support-focused Ice Gauntlet tree. Mostly just focused on supporting the Greatsword, snaring opponents, trapping them, and making them susceptible to my big burst from the Greatsword. On the Greatsword side of things, I've made a little change. I have guarded shift now so that I can enter Defiant stance when I hold block. I really like that. I don't block enough in my gameplay. That's one of my biggest criticisms to my own gameplay is the lack of block when I could be using it. So yeah, I would recommend you guys try to use block with Greatsword especially. This build, both the Ice Gauntlet and the Greatsword have a really strong block, so you have good options there. And then I've got my good old empowered gear set here. This is very expensive gear that I had put some money into recently, and honestly, I really like this gear set, and I really like that it gives me the option to just throw together and try a build like this. This is not a bad build at all. I mean, I just slapped this guy together, but we had a lot of the pieces I needed for it already, which is really good. And yeah, there's a look at the rest of the gear. Shirking heals and refreshing being my perks of choice across the gear. And then for the jewelry here, I do have Shirking Empower on the amulet, just so we can reach a little bit more towards that Empower cap a little bit quicker. Honestly, though, Greatsword gets to Empower cap pretty fast, so we could go for a stamina recovery or a resist instead. And then, of course, Endless Thirst, very OP. Yeah, and then those are the resists. That is the build, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you next time. Have a good night, everybody.